heard about the research results here, how the plants are different from the Hong Kong ones. So it's quite interesting for us. I think it's good for us to know how important the science and they connect together, yes, especially for the people not in the academic way.
Over the last 3 years, we've been working with UKRI, the University of Reading, in partnership to deliver 6 community-led research projects with communities across Reading and Slough. So one of the key questions with the community-led research pilot was about what difference can it make by bringing communities into partnership with a university, first of all, in a particular place, in Reading and Slough, and working with researchers so that communities could use those skills and work collaboratively together to come up with their own research questions and their own projects.
I think it's really exciting to think about how these community-led research pilots can influence the traditional research sector, which UKRI, we're the funder of the traditional sector, and thinking about how we can bring these two worlds and the learnings from the two worlds and how we can bring them together to create more impact for society.
We'd never been a part of anything like it. Meeting Professor McCabe, Senna, it's put a human face to research. Actually having a working relationship with people who are doing this kind of work for a living has been really different.
It's a skill that I can take to other places, and it's interesting. Like, people ask me about it, so I have something to say about that.
This is quite an inspiring experience for us because usually when we think about research, it's kind of a top-down from the research or from the university perspective. But this time is kind of to raise our research question from our community because we would like to grow our oriental crop. So this kind of research is kind of quite inspiring through the research and our project to let our wider community of Hong Kongers know that they can to build up the sense of home sense here by participating in the community and to grow some oriental crops that they missed off because they live Hong Kong for certain reasons. So by all these sort of things, they can have such impact for the community. Yeah.
So we've been working on community-led research for quite some time, but what we've learned from this project is working with disciplines and subjects that were new to working with communities, had never done participatory research before, particularly around issues around science and chemistry, agriculture, crop science. And I think what we've learned from all of this is that there have been real challenges around time and also around funding. The funding that communities need to do this is actually quite substantial. So there have been lots of challenges around the research itself and actually conducting it, how it's funded. But I think there's also been some challenges around power and about whose research this project is. And what we're asking them to do is to just move that aside and to be led by the needs and the questions of the communities and to put their ideas first.
Measuring success of any research project can be quite tricky, but I think particularly for communities it's about actually what is it that they want to gain from that project. So I think it's for them to set what those positive outcomes that they're looking to achieve are and what those long-term impacts might be. I think the great thing is that what we're finding with the projects that we've supported through the community-led research pilot is actually they're even surprising themselves about some of the outcomes that they're achieving.
Yeah, and I think that really highlights how important community research actually is, because what I find with the academic research, the outcome is already written and we just go and find it to match the outcome. But with community research, you really get a depth and it does follow on and lead on to things. But I'm all for, I really believe, not equality, I believe in equity. We're all here to bring people up to that level.
The researchers help us to step by step to figure out what can they do for this project at this moment. This is a hope for us to grow our vegetables, make our own food, and this is a kind of identity representations, right? And we would like to share with other people, with the local people. I believe this is a contribution to make the community more diverse. Yeah, it's about the diversity. Yeah.
The curiosity and the enthusiasm the community had and the faith and the trust they had on me and James as a group to work on this project. And when we showed them the results, when they visited the facilities, it was so good to see. They were really amazed to see what the results were like. So that happiness which I saw on their faces was something I can't forget.
The future is about co-creating and understanding that the people that live there need to be had in their own, and they know they've got the knowledge. We cannot come as researchers or big institutes and be telling people anymore. They can actually make us learn a lot from each other, and we can support each other and create spaces that are very inclusive in that way.